Welcome to the No Manches Que Paso podcast, a podcast no one asked for about the unfiltered ups and downs of life from the perspective of two Latinas who got familias to manage,
real shit to deal with, and are just taking it one day at a time. Our chismes are your chismes,
porque why not? We got another episode of the No Manches Que Paso podcast and another guest, and this guest is muy special. Porque
he's my brother.
Yay!
Hey. You're supposed to say something because it's a podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God.
I'm really happy to be here.
You don't need to talk so close to the mic. No, stop talking.
Sensational.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, you're missing out on the raise the roof action that Justin was giving.
Yeah, exactly.
And the late night vibes that he's given the microphone.
Yeah, seriously. And then we got this pink like lighting. It's kind of setting the atmosphere, the tone. So
it's very me.
Yeah, and we're also fit check here.
Yeah, let's start with the fit check.
You start because look at you, girl.
Girl,
you came out of a 90s magazine.
You told me that you wanted to look like 90s because we're doing a siblings episode, and I said say less.
And you brought it.
And I brought it.
So
anyway.
Where did you find this outfit?
Amazon.
Here? Okay.
I got my little jumper. Got my Nikes.
You're going to bust out the MC Hammer moves?
I was doing the running man.
Yeah.
Earlier. We need to do like behind the scenes of that.
Oh, I know.
Of that one. Anyway, go ahead.
So I have these Jordan Elevates. They're like lavender. I love them. My husband just bought them for me. Got some Halara, 90s inspired pants. Got the Carpenter. They're like Carpenter pants. They're loose fit. And then, of course, Tupac. My Tupac shirt.
Yeah.
I got to represent 90s. Mm-hmm. And my brother, well, he's just dressed in all black.
I'm murdered out. Well, I got dunks on.
Nice.
And I think most importantly, we got to do the sock check. Sock check.
The cholo vibes.
The higher the sock, the downer the fool.
All right. And then we are drinking mezcal Negronis. Mm-hmm. Shout out to
my
sommelier. He wanted me to make a note that we did not have orange slices. He was upset about that.
He was. He's like, no, you need to tell the people that this is not how it is.
He takes pride in his garnishes.
Yes. Okay, so, I feel that.
I'm sorry.
Talented mixologist.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's how long have you guys been siblings?
How long have we been siblings for?
Yeah. Well, what's the age gap?
He is 34. Yes. Mm-hmm. You'll be 35 coming up.
I'll be 35 young years.
Gemini.
Yeah. Yes, Gemini. But he is. So I know I talked about this in past episodes. I have a stepdad that I call. He's basically my dad. So he is a product of my mom and him. He is my half brother, but I don't consider him that way. I never introduce him to my friends as, oh, he's my half brother. No, he is my brother. He is, growing up. We're 6 years apart, but I was always picking on him. Always. I was so mean to you. I'm sorry. I am. But hey, it literally made you who you are right now. You're tough. You're tough shit.
What did you think of when she was so mean to you?
So mean to you. I wasn't always mean. I was protective.
Just getting right into it. Just digging up all
right?
the childhood traumas
Damn,
right away.
Shit.
Damn.
Just Can curious. We
Yeah, ease into it.
All right.
Lube me up a little bit.
Lube me up, my God, Jay. Stupid.
All right. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite childhood memory?
Well, my favorite food is probably the migas that my mom would make us, right?
Oh,
Migas,
yes,
yes.
yes. Mom was, oh my gosh, she's the
Yeah.
best cook. But
Migas with frijoles on the side, and man, very reminiscent of how my grandmother cooked as well. So it's like one and the same.
yeah.
Um, yeah, favorite food.
Okay, do you have a favorite childhood memory? Doesn't have to include Vanessa.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of good childhood memories.
But like, what would you say? Like a good childhood memory of just us, like I got a couple.
I mean, I always thought you were so cool.
I mean, I am.
So I just enjoyed hanging out with you and your friends. And you had pretty friends as well. And, I've always been.
He did. He was always like, "Oh, can I come?" No, stay home. Play with your toys, man.
I didn't want to play with toys. I knew right away. I knew from a very early age.
Yeah, you're like, is Tina coming? I was like, bro, you're 6. Get the step in. Okay? Go eat your milk and cookies.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If there was a question about most embarrassing moment, it's probably that or related to that. Or probably this right now. Related to
Oh
that.
man, I hope Tina listens.
Listen, I think my favorite childhood memory with you is always like playing Nintendo 64. Like we always like would wake up in the morning and just play Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, just having those like moments with you. That's when we did not fight. But then obviously when we got to like, playing an hour and I was constantly like killing you in the game, you would get upset and, run
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I mean, I loved playing N64 and all those games, and like Christmas morning, whenever we got new games, or when we opened that N64 for the first time. Even before that, right? We had the NES or the Super NES.
Something like that.
Yeah, we were always playing Mario and like.
Which, by the way, Mom totally sold my Game Boy to buy your
Yeah, that was a pattern. Yeah,
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that was totally a pattern.
Like, I
that was
totally,
trauma.
like, that's, I'm sorry, Mom, but yeah, it was a little trauma right there. Just like excited to play my game, and then it's like gone. And then,
They always wanted to. They never wanted us to have them all. They always like figured it was better to get rid of the old thing so that they could invest in the new thing. And like we would just forget about the old thing if we had the new thing, but that's not how it works. You
Yeah.
always want
Yeah.
you want the classic stuff.
Right. But like growing up, I feel like we did fight a lot. But when did you like, I mean, I know when we became like friends, like actually connecting and being able to like talk to you about certain things that were happening in my life. When would you say that was?
Probably like a couple years into high school or like right before college.
Like you in high school or me?
Me in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I think that's probably when we got a little closer and like started to be more like friends.
Yeah, because I remember taking you to one of the college parties. And you were what? Man, I feel like you were like 16.
Probably, yeah.
I got him, he got drunk. Sorry, Mom. But he did. And I think that like in that moment, because this is when, when I was dating Elio, like that was super important to me is that my boyfriend at the time, or if I was going to marry somebody, I wanted them to have a good relationship with my brother. And so I saw them like really hit it off. My husband doesn't have brothers. So they hit it off and I was like, yeah, I think that's when like we became like really close.
Mm-hmm.
when Elio like came into the picture. I was 19. So
Yeah, I agree.
you were 13 at the time.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Totally agree.
So how was that party? Like, what was going through your head when you invited him? Because you said you weren't like.
Because okay, so at the time when we all, when he met Elio, he was 13 years old. So that's when I was a freshman in college. So then like I think you were like 16, like 3 years in. We were like, hey bro, like you want to come to my friend's party, you should come. And he came and you got shit faced.
Had a blast. Yeah, we had a blast.
Got shit faced. Yeah.
So you
Good
took
times.
care of him though.
I did. I was drunk too though, but yeah, that sister in me, that like motherly, like protecting, that I feel like I was always very protective of you though. Like, yes, we always like bumped heads and fighting, when we were younger, but like I still like, I don't know if you remember, but in kindergarten, he was in kindergarten. He was in like an after school program, and
What story are you about to tell right now? I don't know what story you're going to tell.
it's fine. So my mom got a call that this little boy poured like glue on his head. So do you remember that?
Mm-mm. Not really.
Okay. Well, so my friend and I.
I mean, I remember it because you remember it, but I don't actually remember it.
Okay,
on my
so
own.
he was, in kindergarten, and when my mom like told me,
Hold on. Let me just say that.
you don't have to get so close.
Let me just say that.
Say what?
I feel like I was also a bully sometimes too.
To me?
To
People?
I don't know. I think overall, like there were times where I could be bullied, but I could also be a bully. So it was like very.
At kindergarten?
Yeah.
So you're telling me all these years that I freaking.
You stood up for me, but I was also a bad kid.
Wow. Wow, the truth comes out. I'm
Yeah.
over here like, this motherfucker. So anyway, let me tell you my perspective,
Yeah,
all
let's
right?
hear it.
Because honestly, I don't remember like what happened. Like I don't even remember how I found out. I think I like overheard the conversation like with my mom in the school, and my friend and I were like, we're going to go pay this kid a visit. Mind you, I'm older, 6 years older, okay? So if they were in kindergarten or first grade, I don't remember what age.
That's
Kindergarten,
like
first grade.
5.
Okay, I'm
6.
11, 12, okay? Okay, yes, I was 12 years old. And because I was in 5th grade. And I went there. I literally just walked right in to the lunchroom. And I saw my brother sitting there. And I saw the little kid. And I went up to him and I said, tapped him on the back. I said, hey, come here. And I he walked over. He was all scared. He had like glasses. He was like nerdy looking. But I was like this. I was like putting my fist to my hand. And I was like, if you ever do that to my brother again, we're going to have a problem. And he was just like, he was just like frozen. And me and my friend, we're standing next to him. We're like cornering him into cornering him. Okay, now that I look back at it, yeah, that was pretty shitty of me because I was older kid, to this little kid. But also, this motherfucking kid shouldn't have poured glue over my brother, So, like, at those...
Well, watch. Now we find out that Justin asked him to pour glue on him.
I don't know what the situation
I don't
was.
think you
Yeah.
told him to pour glue.
I think I remember that kid actually, and that kid was a little jerk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see? So I did my,
And I was a little guy, so it's like
He was
easy for someone who's a couple
taller,
inches taller to
yes.
pick on. Yeah.
So I did what I did, and I don't regret it. And I hope I don't know, did he continue?
What do
I
you
don't
think?
know. That kid kind of just disappeared out of my memories in life. So
Well,
I don't
then
know.
I probably did what I,
That's probably what needed to happen. Yeah. So thank you.
So thank you.
Appreciate it. Always appreciate you sticking up for me.
I mean, yeah, I was, the older sister. I was always like the protective one. Even though like I would always give him shit and would always like, flick him on the head, and like he'll be standing there and I'll just flick his head.
Oh yeah, there's video evidence of that. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. I saw
video
that.
We need to
evidence.
pull it up and sneak it into this episode.
Somewhere from like 1992 or something on a VHS.
Yeah,
movie.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it was.
video evidence.
I'm
of that.
sorry.
Me just coloring, being innocent, and she just comes up behind me and wants to flick me in the head and just cause problems. Like I said at the beginning of this, I always thought she was cool. I always looked up to her. I never wanted to cause any problems. I was never mean to her.
Don't lie. You
I
better
was
stop.
Never, I don't think I was ever mean to you.
I would also, but you would be like, sometimes I would tell you something. I'm gonna tell mom. I'm gonna go tell mom that you did this.
Go tell her.
Huh? No, I'm saying that you used to say that to me.
Oh, yeah.
Dork.
Yeah, I would say that.
You would say that. Telling me now, go tell her. Mr. Billy Badass over here. Bruh. Okay. But I never had anything on him. So I would just make shit up. I'd be like, I'm gonna tell you wanna tell mom that? Okay. I'm gonna tell her what you did last week. And he'll be like, what did I do? I'd be like, you remember what you did. And I would just play mind games with him.
Dang.
And so he'd be like, okay, fine, I won't say nothing. Because he probably did do something and he didn't know. So I would just make up shit and be like, I remember what you did last week, bro. Don't be telling her, because I'm going to tell her what you did.
Wow.
And then there were other times where, like, when I was dating somebody at the time, I had to fucking bring him with. But then he started dating.
I would have some stuff
He would
on her.
start
I'd be
dating.
Like, oh, yeah.
He started dating the sister.
Oh, yeah. 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 I had to think about that for a second.
It was a setup.
So I was like, yeah, you go over there.
That
do
was
your
her
thing.
plan. Yeah, that was her plan to make it all sweet, right?
Wow.
What were you going to say, though?
I don't remember.
What did you think of when you saw her drunk for the first time?
I was honestly probably too drunk to realistically process that or think about that. I probably thought it was awesome because I'm like, yeah, here's my sister and I'm getting drunk with her, as you think when you're 16 or 17, right?
But he also we went to the same college, too. So that's where I met Elio. We went to Columbia College. And weren't you accepted to U of I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, my dad, he told me, he was just like, he was accepted to U of I, but he wants to go to Columbia. And I'm all like, okay, like, what do you want me to do? He's all like, yeah, he just wants to follow in his sister's footsteps. And I was just like, I don't know. But why, what was your reasoning for
going to Columbia?
Yeah.
Yeah, partially because you had the experience of going there, and we talked about what that was like, and it was interesting to me. I think also partially because, I don't know, I think about that a lot, and honestly, when I was 17 or 18, however old I was when I made that decision, I didn't really know. I don't think I really knew what I wanted and where I was going in life.
I mean, I get that. That's valid.
And it was, you had the experience of going there, and I obviously, connected with you and loved you and trusted you, and I already knew your husband at that point, Elio, so I was comfortable there, and I don't know, I'd checked it out, and it seemed cool, and it was in the city, and I loved being in the city, and I think that's what did it for me. All those things really connected.
And you lived with us too, your freshman year.
I lived with you guys my freshman year, even sophomore year, and for a little bit of probably, I think, my junior or senior, a couple weeks here and there, before or after the baby was born.
I think it was just freshman year. He having to live with him again. was an adjustment, right? Because we were like separated for so long, and then having to live together again. I mean, it was nice because that's what my husband and Justin, like their bond got closer. Like they were able to really connect and
Play video games until 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah. So it was nice and but hey, you're doing it right now. You're successful and
Thank you.
From going to Columbia, even though you're totally doing not what you went to school for, you're doing but kind of, right.
Yeah.
But he's doing what I went to school for, right? So he's a senior producer for advertising company. So
So what did you go to school for?
Well, when I started at Columbia, I wanted to be an audio person. I wanted to produce music because I have a somewhat of a musical background. I played cello in the orchestra when I was a kid.
Wow.
And
I didn't know that.
He's good.
I played cello in the orchestra when I was a kid, and then I kind of just like learned music and guitar through watching my dad play his music, and I think we learned piano too when we were kids.
Yeah.
So that's what I went initially for, and then I did the first year and discovered that it was just a lot of math, and I didn't really like math. So I changed into advertising, and that's what I'm doing now. But my degree was in marketing communications, so it's kind of like, it's all related, but not really like focused into that. Now I do,
Like
as
producing.
Vanessa mentioned, I'm a advertising producer, so I manage commercial productions and like video, photo shoots, all of that type of stuff. Short form, 30-second, 60-second commercials, short films even. So that's kind of what Vanessa studied, film and editing. And through, marketing and advertising, I kind of found my way into that. And that's what I do now. And I love it.
That's cool.
And we're very similar, but also very different. Like he's more like adventurous, I would say. Like you did a lot of traveling and like backpacking throughout Mexico by yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's some shit I would never do. He went and lived in California. Did you do like the study
I did
that semester in LA or something like that?
I did a study abroad program. Yes, I did do a semester in LA program through Columbia. That was my final semester, so I like set it up to finish out there so that I could stay there once I graduated and all that stuff. Before that, I did a study abroad in Prague in the Czech Republic, which was really interesting for like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know you were the shit that he tells me. Like, when you went on hiking in the Yellowstone and I'm sorry, I read your little diary. I'm sorry. But it was that story you told about the bear. And I was flipping. Listen, I was pumping. So I needed to figure out what was around there at the desk at the time. And I just happened to stumble upon a notebook. And you wrote it.
Okay.
And I was all like, damn, what else happened? That was a fucking juicy story.
Yeah.
But yes, he did some hike by him with some friend that he didn't even really like. It wasn't really considered a friend. It was just kind of like
an acquaintance.
An
acquaintance, someone I
But
knew.
then they got lost, and he was on his own, and he saw a fucking bear.
2 bears.
Like 2 bears.
Yeah.
Fuck. I wouldn't do that shit. Like that's what I mean. Like we're so similar. Like we're goofy and we get each other, but he's very adventurous. I am not. Like I'm more like safe. Like Yellowstone, yeah, that's pretty. I'll see it from afar, right? But I ain't trying to
Show me the pictures.
I ain't trying to go walk through there.
Yeah, when Vanessa runs away, she runs away to the other side of the fence. in the backyard where we can still see her from the kitchen
Really,
window.
bitch?
So that's about as adventurous as she gets.
You're a jerk. That was like totally. Swear to God, I did run away.
She ran away one time. She got so mad at my mom. This was when we were kids, obviously. She was like, I don't even know what it was about, but she got so mad, and she's like, I'm running away.
And mom would be like, okay.
Yeah, my mom would be like, go. See how long you make it. And Vanessa packed up her shit or whatever, and I don't know. And
You didn't even know I was on the other side.
I remember. I could see it. I have a bit. Yeah. Oh no, I see it. It's right here. It's right up in there. And so our kitchen window, right? You could see all the way to we had a big backyard when we were kids, right? So you could see the fence in the backyard. And then there was just a little gap at the bottom. And there was a door, actually. There was actually a door where you can go out this fence and, like, leave our property and go out into the world, to the gas station that was right behind our house.
It's fucking River Road,
Right,
and then the forest.
And then the forest. And she's like, we're going to run away. And my mom was like, pues, ándale, go. So she left, and we thought she was serious, but then we could see her just sitting right there on the other side of the fence because we could see through the bottom of the fence.
Jerks. Where the hell was I going to go?
Yeah, where was she going to go?
How long were you on the other side?
On the other side. Oh my God.
When did you just
dork.
walk back?
How long were you on the other side?
Probably like a couple hours, like till it got
No,
dark
I
and
don't
cold.
think. Really?
And then she came back.
Did you go around the front and say like?
I went through the
I
door.
wish I remember that.
I think I went through the door,
I
through the desk.
I wish I remember that.
Oh my gosh!
You know, it's some kid shit. You know, you just, who knows? You're just like so angry at the moment. You're like, I'm fucking leaving this house. But then, you know, it's like fucking payphones. I ain't got no money. Where the hell, you know?
1996.
It's like,
What are we gonna do?
yeah, there's nothing. So I'm like, fuck, I'll just sit here and cool off.
It's actually probably, yeah. That's like the right thing to do. Is just sit there with your thoughts and chill and
Yeah.
cool off for a minute.
For a couple hours.
Probably the right thing. Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Oh my God. Jerk.
How do you feel now, knowing that they were watching you from the window talking?
Yeah, why didn't you come out and come sit next to me?
I was gonna hang out and play video games.
He's like,
I was about to
finally,
go
he's
out there.
probably
Free
like moment.
Yeah,
What
that was,
happened?
that was for all the shit you gave me all the time. Go see what happens out there. I'm
See what
gonna be
happens
playing
out there.
GoldenEye in here. In
Golden
Mario.
Knight. I'm going to finally be winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna finally get some stars on Mario.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious. I remember the first time I met Justin. We were talking about doing my podcast, and I had gone out with you and Elio to discuss, and we picked our shoot date, and you were like, I'm going to bring my brother. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And so I think of the time when I've hung out with you, it's always like, you're like, oh, I'm going to bring my brother, or Justin's meeting us. Like, and it's like,
just, yeah, that's just how it is. Like, even now, like, he, you know, my kids, like, love him, and he's just, you know, he's a big part of our family. So even, like, if I'm going out with my girls, he'll call Elio, and he'll be like, hey, let's do a boys' night, you know, because that's all, you know, I got 3 boys at home. So he just goes and hangs out with them. So, yeah, our relationship is super important. So I value that. And, yeah, any chance I get, come on, come through.
that's
you know?
cool.
So, yeah, I was mean as a kid. And, you know, I see it now with my kids. Like, I see how H3 is with Leo, you know. They're 6 years apart. And so I'm like, damn, like, why can't you be nice to him? But now it's like, you know, it's like a little taste of what I used to do, right?
Yeah.
But I know that it's just a phase that they're going through, and then eventually, hopefully, they have a relationship like, the way that my brother and I have. So,
Yeah. Well, you're welcome anytime. I think
of course.
like I like to see the bond that you guys have, especially because I have a girl and a boy, and so I'm like, oh, I hope that they're friends and they hang out when
Oh
they're
yeah,
older.
for sure. I mean, there are certain things that like I go to my brother for. I don't tell him everything. It's like sometimes when you want to have a girl talk, and I don't go to him for that. There are some things like shit that's like pissing me off, or family member, and he kind of just like he brings me down. It's like he like calms me down, because sometimes I get so aggravated. But he also does have some, a temper too. So I'll talk to him, and we kind of just, I guess balance each other out.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. I
Yeah.
was about to say that. Balance each other out.
Yeah.
That's it. That's so nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Aw. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end the episode. You're invited to the Mexico trip
Yes.
when we plan it.
Yes.
With Frankie, my friend.
Yes.
Frankie, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank
Anyway.
you so much, bro, for
Thank you
coming.
guys for having me. This is cool.
Of course.
Appreciate
Love
it.
you.
Cheers. Oh,
Yes.
you
Well, I
finished.
finished.
Damn.
So sorry.
When the hell did you finish
I
that?
don't know. Sometime. Cheers. There's a little chorrito in here, so I'll kill that.
All right.
Salud.
All right.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrapper.